Hey guys, what's up? PizzaLovingNerd here. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions and unboxing video of the PineTab. This is not a review, this is just my first impressions, so keep that in mind. Let's get into it. Now the first thing I'd like to do is thank Pine64 for sending this to me for my channel. Pine64, however, does not have any say in what I say, so I can say whatever I want about this. I would also like to thank my viewers like you for helping me get to the point where Pine64 is sending me stuff. Anyways, to the unboxing. The PineTab comes in a blank white box. Not as fancy as the PinePhone box, which comes with a nice Pine64 logo and PinePhone logo, and it slides out just like an iPhone box. This is a really nice box, and the PineTab's box is nowhere near as nice as this PinePhone box right here. But hey, this tablet's only $120 even with a keyboard, so they had to cheap out somewhere. It's a good thing they cheaped out on the box and not the tablet. When you open the box, the PineTab's the first thing you see, and it's wrapped in some sort of plastic styrofoam thing that you have to take off. I was expecting it to be around the same size of an iPad mini, so I was surprised when it was bigger in person than my iPad Air 2. Mostly because the bezels are big. Under the tablet, we have a first start guide that you're going to throw away, a power cord, and if you ordered the keyboard for the PineTab, it comes with its keyboard under it. The keyboard did take me a little bit of time to figure out how to use, but you actually fold the keyboard back so that the tablet can stay on it. Smart, although I think I like Apple's floating Magic Keyboard design better, but that keyboard costs $220 more. As for the keyboard itself, the stand does feel a little bit flimsy, and the keyboard is very small to type on, and there is some noticeable keyboard flex, but I do like the feel of the keys, and the key travel is great considering how thin the keyboard is, and the keyboard is backlit. Unfortunately, the trackpad does not work yet, so I have not been able to test out its trackpad, but it should work in the future through software updates. The front design of the tablet is kind of meh because of how thick the bezels are, but I actually like how the back of the tablet looks because it kind of has like a circular texture, although the tablet is very plasticky, so keep that in mind. Luckily, the tablet's I/O is very good. We got a headphone jack, a barrel port for charging, a USB port for whatever, wireless mouse, headphones, whatever you use USB for, a HDMI mini port to connect this to your TV, and a micro USB port, which I believe can be used for OTG stuff. There's also a little slot on the side that comes out and reveals the micro SD card slot, as well as a small switch that I think does something with the audio, but I can't remember for sure. I think it switches like an audio driver, I don't know. Speaking of the micro SD card slot, I don't think I'm going to be using it because this tablet right here has 64 gigs of storage. That is a lot more storage than I'm going to be using. I love how much storage this thing has. That's a pretty good pro for this tablet. The tablet itself comes with Ubuntu Touch out of the box, and let me tell you, Ubuntu Touch is the perfect software for this. Even though Ubuntu Touch is designed for a phone, since LBRY is inspired by Ubuntu Unity 7's design, and it is still touch-friendly, I actually like how LBRY works on a tablet more than any other operating system on a tablet that I've tried. LBRY is amazing on this tablet. The only issue with the software has mostly to do with Morph Browser. Morph Browser seems to be upscaled for some reason, and it seems to be zooming into websites significantly, which means you can only see a fraction of what you would normally see, even using the PinePhone in Morph Browser. Luckily, if you switch updates to come from the development channel and not the stable channel, this issue gets fixed, and a lot of other bugs I noticed also get fixed if you change from stable to development in the settings. Now, one issue with the tablet, and one of the first things I noticed when I booted into it, is its screen. Its screen is only 720p, and on a phone, for example the PinePhone, a 720 screen can actually look good because the screen is much smaller, so the pixel density is much higher. But on a tablet, 720p is not enough. Since the screen is much bigger than the PinePhone, you can see each individual pixel on the screen, and I can't see each individual pixel on the PinePhone unless I put my face to it or something. But the PineTab, I can see each individual pixel from pretty far away. Although, for the pros of the screen, the viewing angles are very good and the colors look very crisp and accurate, so honestly, this screen would be perfect if the resolution was slightly bigger. The biggest reason to buy a PineTab, and the thing I'm most excited for, is that this is an open device. You will be able to try out lots of different operating systems for it. Right now, the Pine64 wiki says that it's compatible with Ubuntu Touch, Postmarket OS, Arch Linux, ARM, Manjaro ARM, and Mobian. And I also noticed that GlowDroid is also compatible with the PineTab if you want to use Android on it. although the Pine64 wiki does not mention Glow Droid right now. And if you want to develop an operating system for it, I think it'll be easier than the Pine phone, because on the PineTab, you can use kind of whatever DE you want, because, you know, GNOME, Plasma, XFCE, they are kind of all touchscreen friendly on a tablet, whereas Phosh and Plasma Mobile are, I guess, LBRY too, are really your only options on something like the Pine phone. Those other DEs made for desktops don't translate very well to a phone, but desktop DEs translate much better to a tablet, which means that if you want to make an OS for the PineTab, you will not have to port Phosh or Plasma Mobile to whatever OS you're basing your OS for the PineTab off of. So because of that, if you want to make an OS for the PineTab, it's going to be a lot easier than making something for the PinePhone. I think the OS I want to try out the most right now is either Postmarket OS or Arch using GNOME, because I love the GNOME desktop and I would love to use it on something like a tablet. So I'm looking forward to trying out all the OSs for this thing. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Thanks to Ashton Scott Snap, Jonathan Reynolds, Jim Peter, Sam Covett, and Mitchell Vantino for being $5 or $10 patrons on Patreon. The support really helps, and I'm working on a Patreon exclusive. I said that last week, and it kind of sounded like I'm working on a video, but I'm actually working on a program that's going to be Patreon exclusive. So, sorry if you're looking forward to a video, but I'll have more details on the program probably next video as I work on it more. So, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.